Hello everybody, it's me Ryan here with Mandrproductions, and today I have for you my LEGO Star Wars Rogue One set ideas. These obviously exclude the sets that have already been made, so these are new ideas for sets that could come out next summer or next spring, so looking to the future. Now my goal for this video is 100 likes, so if you guys wouldn't mind smacking that like button, it would be greatly appreciated. And also if you have any set ideas of your own, go ahead and comment them down below in the comment section, but make sure you watch the full video first so that we're not doubling up. And if you have anything to expand upon on my ideas, which I have 9 of, go ahead and comment those down below too. I'd love to hear it. The first idea I have is a Zeta class cargo shuttle for $129 in the US. It would include around 1,100 pieces and would have the minifigures Bodhi Rook, K2SO, Cassian Andor, Jyn Erso, and 2 Rebel Troopers. So I'd completely exclude the, Imperial part of it, just kind of include stuff from Rogue One, the little group of them. So that's kind of what I was thinking there. I think it would be a pretty cool set and have some good features. It could go well, of course, with the Battle on Scarif set that's coming out this March in the US. So it could have a few features such as an underneath hole where the minifigures can come in and out of, and of course that door can open and close. The cargo, or not the cargo, but the cockpit is important too. I think it should fit all the minifigures that it fit in the movie. I think it would be important to make the cargo to scale. And also the coloring of the set, it could go light gray or dark gray. Another cool thing to include with the set is something to allow Bodhi Rook to connect the communications tower. So maybe he can have a large backpack with kind of a spool of rope, kind of like they have on the snow speeders from years past, and have that be able to connect to some little extra thing that they include in the set out exterior of the Zeta class cargo shuttle. The next idea I have is a Hammerhead Corvette. This thing could come in at $99 in the US with about 1,000 pieces, and you guys can see the LEGO ideas linked down in the description below. All these things will have links down in the description below if they're not my work, and it will include 5 minifigures. Alistar Petri, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but that's how I pronounced it. Admiral Radis, 2 Rebel Troopers, and Bail Organa. This would be a great set to put Bail Organa in because he really hasn't been in any sets before, so I'd love to see him in a set like this and finally get included in kind of a more expensive mainstream set. It could have some cool features like the ability to have a cockpit open up and maybe some spring-loaded missiles, but other than that, it'd be more of a display piece in my opinion. And here you can see a picture of it all opened up so you can really get an idea of any features you might want to add. Some type of stand would probably be nice so that it doesn't fall over all the time, because otherwise this would be something hard to keep upright. But other than that, I think it'd be a really, really cool set. Of course, a carrying handle there in, of course, so that kids playing with it don't drop it. The next idea is one that I think all of us have had, and it's the ATAC. I think this thing should come in at $120. 2 Shore Troopers, an ATAC pilot, 2 Rebel Troopers, and Baze Malbus, because if you guys remember in the movie, he shoots an AT-ACT straight in the head with his rocket launcher, and it kind of looks away and then looks back and then finally gets blown up by some X-Wings or something. But I think having Baze Malbus in this set just kind of as a lone soldier would be kind of cool. You could put in some more Rebel Troopers, I guess, but the main focus is on the AT-ACT itself, so like the yellowish orangish cargo door and the ability to have troopers in there and stuff like that. Then of course the AT-ACT pilot, maybe a little bit different than the regular AT-AT pilots would be nice. And oh yeah, also a couple of Rebel Troopers for the ground to go with Baze Malbus, I guess. I missed that, but that would be nice as well. And I'd like to see the design a little bit more changed than we've seen in years past from design to design with the AT-ATs. I'd like to see a little bit of a different leg design again, something to just kind of spice things up. My next idea for a Rogue One set is the Rebel base on Yavin 4, and this thing would come in at $70, so it would be similar to the Mos Eisley Cantina, and 600 pieces, so it might not do it justice for you guys for this set, but I think it could turn out alright, with Jyn Erso, Mon Mothma, Bail Organa, multiple Rebel leaders, and Cassian Andor. So by multiple Rebel leaders, I mean when they were having the roundtable discussion about whether or not they should go to Scarif, and I think just kind of including a few of the characters that we see there would be very cool. And again, this would be more like a Cantina set. This wouldn't be like the full base. I think a full base would deserve something like an Ewok Village type set, $250 thing. But this thing, I'm thinking more of like $70 just to get kind of the figures out there. And then maybe in the future down the road, we could see a full-size Yavin 4 base. But for now, I think a $70 set, with a couple of special exclusive figures would be really cool, kind of like the Mos Eisley Cantina. As for features, there aren't really many. It's more of just kind of a play around with, kind of talk have your minifigures talk to each other type set. There's nothing really that I could come up with to have this set do anything. I mean, it would go well with the Y-Wings and X-Wings that you already have in your collection, but there's nothing it can do itself, you know what I mean? If you guys have any ideas for that, of course, go ahead and comment them down below, and, like, write Yavin 4 base could do this, and I'd love to see it and hear from you guys. This next idea was created by CM4Sci, and you can find a link to his stuff down below, his Flickr. This is where I got these pictures from. It's the Citadel Tower Raid. It'll include K2SO, Cassian Andor, Jyn Erso, Director Krennic, a Stormtrooper, and an Imperial Death Trooper. So 6 minifigures in total, which I think is a pretty good number. And it could have some pretty cool features like a rotatable dish turret, and more stuff like that underneath as well, or around the other side rather, on the Citadel Tower. You can have more of like an open side, kind of like the Orthanic Tower from Lord of the Rings or something like that. It was a really expensive set, but I'm thinking this set for more of like a $70-$80 range. Maybe 90 would probably be pushing it, but maybe they could get away with it for 90 if they included another minifigure. I just think this would be a really cool set with some cool minifigures if they do it right, and it would look good on display, and then flipping it around, it would have very good playability, kind of like Jabba's palace. I think this could be very similar to Jabba's palace in that on one side it looks pretty accurate to the actual thing. It's a very good display piece, and then you flip it around on the other side and you have lots of cool stuff to play with and move around and put your minifigures in. So that's what I think about that set. If you guys have any ideas, put them down below. Again, CM4Sci created this thing. Very good creation he made, and you guys can check that out. Link in the description below. It'll say CM4Sci Flickr. The next idea I have that I don't really know how LEGO could approach, but would still be cool, is Sargeras Safehouse, or kind of his hideout. This thing could come in at $80 for 800 pieces, and include the minifigures Sargeras, Bodhi Rook, Baze Malbus, Chirrut Way, Jyn Erso, and Cassian Andor. So you get a good minifigure selection out of this, but I just don't really see, because you could have two sides to the set. You can have the jail area where they're holding Sargeras, Bodhi Rook, Baze Malbus, Chirrut Way, and they're keeping them hostage, but or not Sargeras, but Cassian Andor. But the other problem is that it's like for $80, there's a lot to put in there, because there's also the part where you have all the other minifigures, kind of Saw's like little group of soldiers, and you could include some of those in there, and then you could have their little area, and then you could have Saw Gerrera's little bedroom type area where he talks to Jyn and he looks out before he dies. Like, you have to have that window there, because otherwise it's not his hideout. It would look weird. And then you also have to have the jail cell. So there's a lot to go into this set without getting a lot of playability out of it. So unfortunately, it's kind of it's a good idea, but it's hard to put into practice because there's just not enough to do. The next idea I have is Engineer Execution. This one, probably $80, 750 pieces, although now that I think about it, it could probably be less. It would have Director Krennic, Galen Erso, 2 times the Death Troopers, Jyn Erso, and 2 Imperial Engineers. So this is the scene where Galen Erso is almost executed and does eventually die, but he is almost executed by the Stormtroopers or Death Troopers, and the rest of his crew is also executed. So I think it'd be cool to see a set like this, although it might be a little bit morbid for a children's toy to have kind of an execution set. That's probably why they never made like any Order 66 Attack on the Jedi Temple sets, really. So, I mean, this is kind of a far-fetched idea, but I still think it's a pretty cool idea. It would be cool to see someone make a mock of. I think that's the most likely thing. But again, it wouldn't have many features. Again, it would just go well with the existing sets like the Y-Wing and the U-Wing, and you'd have to build up your area around it. It would kind of be like you get the little ladder going to the top where Jyn is climbing up, and then you could also have like a little bit of the landing platform with maybe a little bit like boxes and stuff on top. I mean, as long as you could put Director Krennic's shuttle on there, it'd be really cool. So it could do that, which would be nice. But moving on, my next and final idea is Darth Vader's Lair. For $40, 450 pieces, Darth Vader, Director Krennic, and 2 Royal Guards. So this isn't going to be the whole Darth Vader's castle. It's just going to be the little room where Director Krennic and Darth Vader talk. I think that would be kind of the best way to do it, because otherwise you're overdoing with the castles and the big buildings, I think. Although it would be a really cool castle, it would just kind of be really expensive. It wouldn't have many minifigures to include, and it would also be, I don't know, it would kind of be featureless. There's not much to do with a Darth Vader's castle. from a children's toy standpoint. Maybe it's like a UCS type set, but then again, there's too many other things they can make that Darth Vader's castle's got to be way down on the list. So I think a set called Darth Vader's Lair for $40 would be really cool, and you could also put it with the Darth Vader's transformation from earlier this year, and I think, or from later this year rather, and those two would go really well together. Again, with Darth Vader, Director Krennic, and two Royal Guards, it'd be a nice set to pick up some minifigures for cheap. Alright, and with that, guys, that concludes my Rogue One set ideas. If you guys have any ideas, go ahead and drop them in the comment section below and talk with your fellow LEGO fans. I'm sure you guys will be able to come up with some cool stuff too. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like. It would be greatly appreciated. I'd love to hit 100 likes on this video. And again, if you have anything to say about my ideas, also comment them down below. I'd love to talk with you guys. I'll be down there reading the comments and replying to comments as well. So with that being said, guys, thank you all for watching. Check out this new video on the screens if you haven't seen them yet, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.